is not restricted, however, is well documented, and everyone has the fucking paperwork and are allowed to unionize. That's it. That's the real solution.
Our platforms and repeal Section 230 liability protections. And if the federal government refuses to act, then every state in the union where we have the votes, which
How is that different than the lump of labor fallacy? Because the only reason why there's the lump of labor fallacy only works if all labor it has the same kind of amenities, right? Like if you have slavery, if you have a permanent underclass, then you can't talk about lump of labor fallacy in that circumstance, because with more immigration, you're still creating an underclass of people that are going to permanently remain in that underclass. Do you understand? The lump of labor fallacy works if everyone has equal access to being able to work in whatever field they want to. These people have no fucking idea how Section 230 works, and that repealing it would lead to more so-called Republican censorship. I know. Can you explain the fallacy? Yes, the lump of labor fallacy is the argument that most economists use, whether they're fucking neoclassical or whatever kind of economists they are, whatever their ideological position is, when they're advocating for open borders and freedom of travel, okay, non-restricted travel for workers. What it means is that there is no limited amount of jobs available, and therefore nations should have really restrictive policies on who can immigrate versus who can't immigrate, because if you think about it a little bit, you will recognize it, that when there are more immigrants, that means there are more opportunities for jobs, because more immigrants need better roads. More immigrants means there's going to be more need for education, housing, healthcare, and therefore labor scales and adjusts to immigration. Okay, which it's literally the idea that immigrants are taking our jobs, disproved in 1847 or something. Okay, literally back in 1847, economists disproved the notion that immigrants were taking our jobs, and even then, we still advocate for it and we still talk about it like it's a legitimate thing. Having said that, though, it's top of the hour every hour. It's time for a 60-second ad break to pick and cherry each question. Every bipartisan can see through your BS. Hopefully your salary was worth fucking up the political climate. Ooh, all right. Well, here is one way that my salary is fucking up the political climate, and that is by running an ad at the top of every hour. It's a 60-second ad break that you no longer can see if you subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Here it is. What the fuck? You mentioned only public services, and that's not how wealth is created? Wait, what? What do you mean I mentioned only public services? I forgot. I forgot that I wasn't going to mention ads. I'm probably still going to mention it. I don't care. Hey, you know what? Fuck the haters. All right? There you go. That's what I have to say to all the fucking ad haters. All right? Fuck you. Didn't Bill Burr say something like, if someone who doesn't speak English can do a better job than you, so something's wrong with you, not immigration? I mean, that's one way to look at it. Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Big tech giants like Twitter, Google, and Facebook should be punished with major sanctions whenever they silence conservative voices. And Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida and in Texas and in other states are doing this. If they do what they're doing, Florida, and that legislation will pass, and Texas and others will have tremendous power to do what's right.
I love that, though. Like, big tech censorship is terrifying for someone like myself, who is a outspoken leftist. and who has been like silenced by cancel culture in the past, right? And it's something that I think about all the time, and it's in the back of my head all the time, and that ironically, literally, will tie into the symphony conversation in a little bit that I'm going to engage in for one last time. But it's the greatest thing that's ever happened with Donald Trump being banned from Twitter. But they should just give it back to him every now and then just to like fuck with him. You know what I mean? So that like, you know, he lets it out. I just need him to let it out. I just need to see his tweets. I miss it so fucking much.
We have no time to waste. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in Congress are racing to pass a flagrantly unconstitutional attack on the First Amendment and the integrity of our elections, known as H.R. 1. Do you know what H.R. 1 is? It's a disaster. Their bill would drastically restrict political speech, empower the federal government to shut down dissent, and turn the Federal Election Commission into a partisan political weapon. In addition, it virtually eliminates voter ID requirements nationwide, effectively ends all registration deadlines. Can you believe this? Requires states to give ballots to felons, automatically registers every welfare recipient to vote, and puts unaccountable, unelected bureaucrats in charge of drawing congressional districts. That's going to be a lot of fun. This monster must be stopped. It cannot be allowed to pass. Now more than ever is the time for tough, strong, and energetic Republican leaders who have spines of steel. We need strong leadership. We cannot have leaders who show more passion for condemning their fellow Americans than they have ever shown for standing up to Democrats, the media, and the radicals who want to turn America into a socialist country. Instead of attacking me and, more importantly, the voters of our movement, top establishment Republicans in Washington should be spending their energy in opposing Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, and the Democrats. I've said to some of them, I said, you know, during the Obama years and now during Biden, if you spent the same energy on attacking them, you'd actually be successful, as you do on attacking me in many cases. The Democrats don't have grandstanders like Mitt Romney, Little Ben Sass, Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Pat Toomey. And in the House, Tom Rice, South Carolina, Adam Kinzinger, Dan Newhouse, Anthony Gonzalez, that's another beauty, Fred Upton, Jamie Herrera Butler, Peter Meyer, John Katko, David Valadao, and of course the warmonger, a person that loves seeing our troops fighting, Liz Cheney. How about that? The good news is in her state, she's been censured, and in her state, her poll numbers have dropped faster than any human being I've ever seen. So
yeah, fuck Liz Cheney. I love that.
Hopefully they'll
Everyone
get rid
is so
of her.
Excited to... Dude, holy shit. Holy shit.
With the next election. Get rid of them all. Democrats are vicious. Remember this, it's true. Democrats are vicious. He said evil. Well, there is evil there. But they're vicious, they're smart, and they do one thing. You got to hand it to them. They always stick together. You don't have Mitt Romneys in the group. They always stick together. Fortunately, for the Republican Party, the Democrats have horrible policies like open borders, sanctuary cities.
We hate cancel culture. Except fuck Liz Cheney. She deserves to be canceled.
Defunding the police and the ridiculous, totally ridiculous Green New Deal. So they stick together, they're smart, they're vicious, they got everything going, but their policies are no good. So hence we have, congratulations, the Republican Party. After this, they may not stick with those policies. We have to be careful. No, their policies are horrible.
I truly wish Democrats were as like vicious as the way Republicans describe them. It'd be so sick. Or as like socialist.
Think of it. Defund the police. How did that work out? But if Republicans do not stick together, the rhinos that we're surrounded with will destroy the Republican Party and the American worker, and will destroy our country itself. The rhinos, you know, Republican in name only. But the Republican Party is united. The only division is between a handful of Washington, D.C. establishment political hacks and everybody else all over the country. I think we have tremendous unity. When you look at the crowds outside that want your seat so badly, they will take your seat in 2 seconds. They want your seat. Congratulations. Congratulations on getting in, by the way. I'm very impressed. And that's why I'm announcing that I will be actively working to elect strong, tough, and smart Republican leaders.
Like, this lady's gonna die soon, dude. Look at this, look. Like, bro, you really want to fucking spend, like, your last fucking year on Earth, like, believing that the world is fucking falling apart and just, like, being terrified that, you know, Mexicans are coming into the country and turning it brown? Just fucking smoke some weed and just, like, medicate, you know? I mean, seriously. Like, if you are in the autumn of your life, okay, and you don't spend it like fucking everything around you and like doing all of the drugs, what the fuck are you doing? Is it called the August of your life? Isn't it? I mean, in Turkish we say what do we say? We don't say the autumn of your life? It is autumn, right? Yeah, it's just like, dude, have fun, okay? Just fucking have fun. Like, you're gonna die soon. Just have fun. Like, why the fuck? Why in the ever-loving fuck are you spending... Ikinci Bahar, yeah. Why the ever-loving fuck are you spending your remaining fucking time on this planet being full... just pumping yourself full of hatred? Why would you encourage an elder to take illegal drugs? Because you're gonna fucking die anyway. Just have fun. Like, what do you mean? What? Like, what kind of fucking question is illegal drugs? I don't think drugs should be illegal anyway. Just smoke some fucking weed, you know? Chill the fuck out. That's legal, by the way, you fucking nerd.
Speaking of that, I heard Jim Jordan did a great job, right? I heard that from Mark Meadows.
I'm curious, what's your take on the Wilmington term? Yeah, we're going to get to it, okay? We're going to get to it after this.
I heard it. Oh, there he is. Look at that. Hi, Jim. I heard you were great. In fact, I hated to follow you. I want to follow other people. I could name them, too. I like to follow other people. I heard you were great. Thank you, Jim, very much. Jim Jordan. Great, great athlete. People don't know he was a great wrestler, tremendous numbers of victories.
Jim Jordan, great at hiding sexual assault. Very good when coaches under his purview were raping some of the boys. Very good at hiding it.
Great at it. He was college champion for a long period of time. He's a winner and a leader, and he doesn't play games. He likes to win. He likes to win. And we have a lot of people in our party that like to win.
Please do not villainize market fundamentals. Would you say engineering is evil because guns are produced, or physics is evil because of the atomic bomb? People should study these subjects, including finance and economics, regardless of political views, but instead use what they learn to either achieve their political views or help shape their political views. I do not know why you are talking about this right now.
Win, Jim, right? But I heard you were great. Thank you very much. But we want Republican leaders who are loyal to the voters and who will work proudly for the vision that I've laid out today.
All I'm going to say is, shut the fuck up, nerd.
What is it so simple, right? So simple. Military, law and order, great trade deals, great education. So simple. Does anybody get it? What are they doing?
Got him.
Does anybody get it? It has just been stated that President Trump's endorsement is the most powerful asset in politics. You believe that? Who would have thought that was going to happen? Who would have thought that's going to happen, Jim? In last year's congressional primaries, 120, listen to this, it's crazy. 120 of 122 candidates I endorsed won. 120. That's almost as good as Jim's wrestling record. And the two that lost were beaten by people claiming to be more Trump than their opponent. So I like those two people very much also.
Classic liberal response, shut up, you're wrong. What? Liberals love economics. Stupid.
In the Senate, I was undefeated in endorsements with a record of 21-0. My endorsement of Mitch McConnell, at his request, it's all right. It's all right.
Remember, he was not invited, and also on top of that, is getting booed.
No, he made a request. He asked for my endorsement, brought him from 1 point down to 20 points up, and he won his race in the great state and actually the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, and he won it very easily. And I said, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing here, but you know what? I did what I did, but he went from 1 point down to 20 points up very quickly, immediately actually, and he won his.
Mitch McConnell is literally the meme of like, just wiping his tears off with $100 bills. You know what I mean? Oh no, I can't believe the members over at CPAC are saying that I'm bad. Well, I've dedicated my entire life to the ideological goals of the Republican Party, and that's why I am endlessly wealthy, and also on top of that, I'm still endlessly powerful.
Race, and
fucking bullshit.
If you compare that to his other elections, I'm sure you'll see something interesting. But you know what? We got a Republican elected, and now we have to use Republicans to take care of the election frauds and all of the other things that are happening that shouldn't be allowed to happen in our country. It's very simple. Because of my efforts campaigning, we had huge gains in the House, and I helped keep many senators in their seats, and they will admit it, so that it's now 50-50 instead of Republicans being down anywhere from 8 to 10 seats. And they'll admit it. We'd be down 8 to 10 seats if I didn't campaign. We held rallies for some of the senators that were down, and nobody talks about that. Nobody wants to talk. The press doesn't talk about it. With me at the top of the ticket, not a single Republican member of Congress lost their race for the first time in decades. We won 26 of 26 toss-up races. Toss-up. Think of that. 26 of 20, and those are toss-up. Those are races.
Okay, this is boring as fuck. I'm done. I'm sick of it. Like 10 more minutes, and I don't want to watch the rest of this. Okay, can we move on? You boys want to move on? Fuck the last 10 minutes. Okay, I'm so tired and bored. The worst thing Trump could be is boring, and my friends, he is actually boring, and that is wild. So let's talk about something that is more interesting, which is the Womixen thing. March is Women's History Month, and Twitch decided, and there's a live stream fails post about it too, I think. Let's take a look at that. to see what the fuck the brain trust that Livestream Fails is saying about this. Okay, so they and this is like such a funny fucking thing that I make fun of all the time. But March is Women's History Month. Join us in celebrating and supporting all the Wimixin, creating their own worlds, building communities, and leading the way on Twitch. Read more. It's so stupid.
Women creators.
Okay, before I just like start making fun of this, and I briefly talked about it already. Don't do this. Okay, this is no one. Like, there's like 8 people that think this is like the right thing to do. Okay, trans women are women. So trying to like include trans women by adding like an X to men is unironically otherizing trans women and making it seem like they are not women but something different. It's clownish. Everyone thinks you look like a fool, and I find it so odd that like a lot of these corporations will go and hire like the same fucking people or something that make it seem as though this is something that the majority of these marginalized communities want, when it's not. Like, 0 trans people. Okay, I won't say 0. Maybe there's some like fucking a couple weirdos here and there, but like most trans people aren't like, oh wow, I really feel like my oppression and struggle has been eliminated by adding an X to the fucking the women, a term that I want to be associated with if I am a trans woman. By adding a fucking X, all of a sudden now I feel as though transphobia has been combated. Okay? And originally, and this is like kind of an edgelord take of mine, but I originally always assumed that this was actually a way to take men out of the like the women. Like, for some women who did not want to be associated with men at all, I thought that's the real reason why they originally put an X there. You know what I mean? Like, we are different. We don't have to be dependent on men. And I don't know if that was like an edgelord take or not, but I always originally assumed that was how it started. It also kind of makes sense because it's some fucking hyper radfem shit. It's super lib, and it's super ridiculous. I think it's supposed to be contrast with the TERFs who use women. Oh, yeah. Where they put a Y, right? Sometimes.
Are shaping the gaming space by building amazing.
My man said it's for non-binary women. Oh, thanks. Oh, non-binary women, you say? Interesting. Yeah, no, I want to be inclusive to the meat-eating vegans. What the fuck? Just think about it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Communities supporting each other.
There are so many beautiful, vibrant, talented, incredible women content creators on Twitch.
Women creators are shaping this industry in such a beautiful way simply by being themselves.
I celebrate women on Twitch every day by being the representation that I seek.
I decided to start streaming shortly after I came out publicly. To me, the biggest reason was that I wanted to create the representation that I never really saw out there growing up.
I have this little corner of the internet.
Hey, to all the trans boys, girls, and also the NBs. 2021 is shaping up to be the best year of your lives. I mean, Oreo Cookies comes out and says, you know, trans people are valid. Mr. Potato Head is no longer Mr. Oh, fuck, I just dead named Potato. I dead named Potato Head. I apologize. Potato Head is now non-binary. And now, you know, they're saying Wimixin. And This is it's shaping up to be the best year of trans people's lives, I think. I mean, 2021, what else is in store? Meanwhile, on the other side, Republicans literally are like, the most important issue is making sure that trans women that want to play sports get punished by law and get thrown into jail. Like, literally, on the other hand, like, liberals are like, yeah, Oreo, trans people are valid. Meanwhile, like, fucking conservatives are, like, Donald Trump is talking about, like, trans girls playing fucking high school sports, and, like, the hogs are, like, salivating, like, on the other side. Anyway. What did they say? Oh, Oreo actually just said trans people exist. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Try Tater Folk Toy, easier to remember. I wonder if the women in this video knew Twitch was going to use Womixen instead of just woman. I don't know.
To just create this really nice space for people.
I want to show that I can do it so other people can also feel like they can do it.
Women creators are needed in this industry so that the next generation never...
The hilarity of this is that I agree with literally every point that they put forward, but I can't even hear it because the only thing I'm seeing is Womixen on my fucking screen, dude. And I'm a woke person, okay? I'm like more woke than the average person, right? Like I care about these sorts of things. And even I can't fucking look away. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Like, has to hear she's only successful because she's a girl. Can I say women rule?
Women creators.
So anyway, orijinal düşünce Türkiye'de bayanlı kadın. I don't know what you're talking about. Türkiye hiç giremem. I love the juxtaposition of the Amazon anti-union ads and then the Womixen month ads by Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. Next thing you know, you'll have a bunch of Womixen union busters at Amazon. I mean, at least they fucking moved on very quickly from that and took it off their airwaves. But Liv had a good take about this, doing actually more harm than good. Please God, just spell the word normally. The only thing this does, one, make most trans women feel othered and allow us to be like, SJWs are going too far. Once again, this is why we need to take rights away from trans people. Most of the time I see large companies try to be trans inclusive. They do it in a way that will generate the most outrage controversy to get the company the most attention. The companies are painted as simply pro-trans when in reality they're doing what they're doing doesn't help us at all. Same goes for that Oreo tweet and the generalist potato stuff. Ridiculous things no trans person was asking for. You're right. I'm sorry. You're wrong, Sweaty. Have you considered that it's actually good for trans people? What would you know? You're wrong. Okay. Sorry, Sweaty. You're canceled. It's gonna other trans women and make MB people feel weird to be lumped in with women. Yeah, it's just like it's such a fucking odd thing. Okay, it's such a weird thing to do, and it comes from partially wanting to be more inclusive. Okay, and coming out and making a statement and wanting to be as like representative as possible, right? But the people that you're going to get these the people that you're going to get this point of view from is literally just they're oblivious. Like they're ridiculous. Okay. Same goes to the Oreo tweet and genderless potato head stuff. Ridiculous things no trans person was asking for that will get mentioned as a punchline at CPAC. Generate a discussion about trans people's humanity we have no control over and get the company some extra adverts. Azan Pago, chatter is right. Some of us like to call ourselves MB women. For those of us who are femme aligned, making fun of MB woman is unironically invalidating those of us who use it. We aren't just a third gender box. Okay, I'm sorry. NB women is a real concept. You are non-binary and you're a woman at the same time, or you align with women. I would have just assumed that if you are non-binary, that you would not want to be lumped in with all women across the board. I don't know how this stuff works. It's very confusing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my best. As a trans person, I sometimes feel unsafe in gamer online spaces. I'm so glad that now Twitch on Amazon decided to use a language that makes us sound like crazy people who want everyone to change their vocabulary. I've already gotten hundreds of whispers of people sending me trans flags, and now all gamers promise to stop calling me slurs. Anyway, one of the people in the vid tweeted afterwards, "Hey folks, here's a quick message. I see some of you have found me on this little part of the internet. I did not know that Womixen was a bad term. I will not be using it in any of my syntax moving forward, nor have I ever used it. Women are women are women. Yeah. It's just like it's a swing and a miss. Okay, it's a company trying to be as like nice as they possibly can and be as inclusive as they can. You apologize, Pog? Guys, I fucking apologize for areas that I am like not knowledgeable on, or when I say something wrong all the fucking time. It's not like a new thing, okay? Just because we went through the weekend where I am still very much holding staunchly on an issue, and holding firm on an issue, does not change the reality that like I routinely fucking apologize for and clarify positions that I hold if there is people misunderstanding it. Anyway, so is the X the turfy term or the woke one? I'm lost. I mean, it's just like it's not fucking woke. It's just like when you're trying to be mega woke and you swing and a miss. Okay, you swing and you fucking miss. That's it. That's what it is. Because again, trans people want to feel included. They want to feel valid. They do not want to be otherized as trans women. Okay? If they're trans women, they want to be trans women. Women in the end. They don't want to be womanixen and again, otherized in a way that makes them feel as though they are different. Okay? I can't wait for some super mega woke NB person to like destroy me now, by the way, for saying this. Because it is actually more inclusive or something, and I didn't know. And tell me that I'm a true scum or something. I can't wait for that if that's actually going to happen. A mixin and a womixin. Anyway, isn't the term Hispanic basically a slur? What? What the fuck? That was a fucking awesome take. So apparently, womixin is used to include trans women. I'd imagine trans women would like to just be called woman, but okay, when being so woke, you turn anti-woke. LMAO, Twitch in a nutshell. Yo, the hilarity here is that this fucking person, this hog squeezer disposable has a better take on this issue than fucking Twitch. I'm gonna run this ad again. Hold on.
Are shaping the gaming space by building amazing communities, supporting each other.
There are so many beautiful, vibrant, talented, incredible women content creators on Twitch.
Women creators are shaping this industry in such a beautiful way simply by being themselves.
I celebrate women on Twitch every day by being the representation that I seek.
I decided to start streaming shortly after I came out publicly. To me, the biggest reason was that I wanted to create the representation that I never really saw.
Okay. Edit, if you also think that companies, especially Twitch, gives a single fuck about minority groups like trans people, they do not. It was probably transphobic. They would be a heartbeat, so don't ever care for a company, especially one that's fake folks, which love talking about the talk and review the rewards of being so woke from dumbasses on Twitter with blue check marks to do everything besides enacting actual change. Blind playthrough, by the way. Omega lol. Holy shit. What is happening on LSF, dude? Like, some of these posts are pretty good, and then, you know, it's just like mind-boggling to me that like one post will have like really solid takes, and then the next fucking post will be like infected with some of the most idiotic, psychopathic takes I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, FaZe Lennon. Okay, I know where these people are coming from. FaZe Lennon. Probably not a fucking, you know, like TSM fan or something. You know anything about the cringy shit from the front man of the band your shirt's from? No, please don't start. I do not care. Someone asked your take on neopronouns? No. We are not having that conversation. That's my take. Stop. This comment chain, damn, yeah, it's pretty good. Can confirm, M Mexican think anyone that uses Latinx or unironically dumb, just use Latino or Latina. Stop being weird. Latinx in the real world doesn't have a pronunciation. Latinx, my friend. We're not gonna have the Latinx conversation again as well. I've fucking talked about it a gorillion times, so I'm not gonna do that again. Latinx, okay. And that's it. That's yeah, this is dumb. And they are trying to they're like they wanted to be like inclusive. They went and probably worked with someone who is like super woke, and that super duper woke person ended up giving them some information that they worked on or acted on that was kind of silly. And I think most people immediately dunking on this as like content creators in the leftist space, trans content creators on Twitch, women in general shitting on this is probably pretty clear that like it's not like this was directed in that way. It wasn't directed by the people that were featured in the ad, or there's like a legitimate leftist position to this. Let's see if actually, wommixen is the proper term because it removes man from the word. You, a cis white straight male, would never understand this. You regularly tout your privilege and shove it in our face while shitting on the term wommixen because you feel like it. I always knew you were an asshole, but this is a new low. And you can bet that I'll be making a TikTok about how bigoted you are, Sweaty. That's not a real person. There's like there's like a one Tumblr Andy. I think all the Tumblr Andys that would say shit like that unironically have been purged from the community after this last week, if we're being real. So, like, good bait overall, but I don't believe it. I never thought I'd get separation anxiety when I switched to gaming. Glad you're back on the politics frog life. Yeah. Why do Republicans always talk about conspiracy within the Democratic Party? Okay. So we're moving on from this. It's silly. It's kind of dumb. Everybody fucking knows. Everybody understands it's kind of dumb. And that's it. And I hope that... I assume this will be an opportunity for a lot of people to... I'm not going to watch the AOC clip. I'm not going to do that. I assume this is an opportunity for a lot of like transphobic people to immediately go back to the same conversations that we were having earlier about like trans women in sports and shit like that, or use this as an opportunity to be like, trans women want like these crazy things. I mean, what the fuck? Blah blah blah. Meh. Okay, they'll use this as an opportunity to do that. I can't watch Elden Ring leaks. I'm worried about getting fucking owned, okay? On stream. I can't watch it. I don't want to watch it on stream. I'm worried. I only started cross-dressing back in October. I'm still fluctuating between being cis male, gender fluid, and MB. I still like have some internalized transphobia. You're a sissy if you're in women's clothing. Have been out in public dress up and have not had. But actually, to be honest, some of it could be that I'm a bit lazy and I have a quick growing beard and it's pain clean shaven all the time. People even use these terms IRL. I feel like these are only for internet talking. IRL people just call trans women as women anyway, from what I see though. Yeah, exactly. I'm sad I missed the Trump speech. Can't wait to watch it on YouTube. It sucked. It wasn't that good. Anyway, can we watch the John Oliver episode? Maybe. Hold on. So, Marcus Flowers, ladies and gentlemen, is an Air Force veteran, and he is officially running in Congress against Marjorie Taylor Greene. He spent his entire career defending the United States, and he promised to bring honor, integrity, and decency to Congress. Let's check out the launch video and see how this will be different.
I'm Marcus Flowers, and I've spent my life serving this country in combat zones across the world. But I never thought I'd see one here in the United States.
Bro, why are they doing this? Like, I just don't understand why they're doing this. There is, what the fuck? Like...
Q is a patriot. We know that for sure.
That's Marjorie Taylor Greene's America.
Marjorie Taylor Greene expressed support for executing Democratic members of Congress.
The irony is, like, is this supposed to be an attack ad or a promo for why Georgians should vote extra hard for Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because, like, what you're failing to recognize is the Democrats in the region are going to vote for you because you're not Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the Republicans are definitely voting for Marjorie Taylor Greene because of this shit, okay? So you running this ad looks like literally you trying to hype up your opposition.
Taylor Greene said that a plane did not hit the Pentagon on 9/11.
Her twisted conspiracy theories may have made her famous, but they haven't done a damn thing to help the people here in our district. Now I'm running for Congress because Georgians deserve better. Better health care, COVID relief, and real representation. My childhood wasn't easy. When I was 11, I moved into a children's home because my parents couldn't support me. So I learned to deal with bullies at an early age. At 18, after graduating high school, I joined the Army. My first overseas deployment was at an intelligence listening post in Central Europe on the doorstep of communism. I spent a decade in combat zones in Iraq and Afghanistan as a contractor for the Department of Defense and held top secret security clearance. I witnessed firsthand the damage done by extremism, radicalism, and disinformation. And I won't stand by while people in Washington take us down the same path. The Army Corps values teach honor, personal courage, and selfless service. That's what I'll bring to Congress.
Felix has already fucking talked about this. And sorry, this is going to offend some of the veterans in my community right now, but let me tell you something, okay? Americans, no matter how much they fucking act like they care about the military, intrinsically recognize that that we're losers, okay? We are all in this together, okay? American imperialism is a losing fucking project, and nobody gives a fuck about veterans and their veteran status, okay? That's the reality. If we did, we'd give veterans better health care and give everyone health care and make sure that there aren't so many fucking people riddled with PTSD, all right? In order to get, like, upward social mobility or a chance at upward social mobility. So, like, this shit doesn't work, okay? No one cares. No one cares. You would be better off if you were just like a football celebrity or something and you threw a football very fast. Like, your bona fides of like working at a fucking forward operating base or like working in a working in a high intelligence position against communism is not something that people are like, oh, this is sick. Okay, either run on fucking issues, or if you're gonna do culture war shit, this is a failing culture war point of view. Okay, nobody fucking gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit what your fucking service looks like anymore. And they certainly don't give a shit when you are coming at it from a Democratic point of view. Because no matter what happens, Donald Trump, more patriotic than John McCain. Okay? It doesn't matter that John McCain literally was a fucking prisoner of war by the Viet Cong. Okay? By the North Vietnamese. Like, Ho Chi Minh could have personally spanked John McCain's ass and it wouldn't fucking matter to Americans. Donald Trump is more patriotic because Donald Trump is more racist. Okay? Republicans, conservatives own patriotism. They own it because they have turned it into understandable, digestible, reactionary politics. So when you try to beef up the patriotism, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're trying to do it as a Democrat, it is a foolhardy endeavor that has never paid off, okay? Like, think about it this way. George W. Bush. George W. Bush was considered to be more patriotic than, John Kerry. They made fun of John. You know why they made fun of John Kerry? Fucking Vietnam veteran. You want to know why? Because he windsurfed and that's gay, okay? That's how he lost. Do you understand? Like, that is conservatism and how Americans operate. They were like, yeah, right, military veteran, my ass, he's gay, he's windsurfing. Okay? That's it. That's it. Republicans literally, as someone also pointed out in the chat, Republicans dunk on other Republicans for not out patrioting one another when they themselves, like, people shit on fucking Dan Crenshaw. People shit on Dan Crenshaw because, you know, he sometimes stands in opposition to Donald Trump from time to time. So he's like not a real patriot. He's fake, brother. All these fucking reactionaries hate Dan Crenshaw because he was for, you know, red flag laws. Yeah. Fellas, is it gay to windsurf? I mean, after all, that bodysuit's wrapped up all around your entire tushy, covering it so perfectly. You know, sometimes it gets caught up in your anus, too. A noose.
Congress. I hope you'll join me on my next mission.
Republican, we will never have European style healthcare. Democrat, I literally went to Europe to kill communists. Yeah. I hate them. Yeah, I was stationed in Germany, the doorstep of communism. Come on, the Berlin Wall. I blew it myself, brother. I like that people looked at Georgia. Okay, they looked at the Senate race in Georgia. They saw that there was an actual radical black pastor, right? A black pastor that has said some really fucking radical shit. Things that I would like to hear more from our candidates. I wouldn't say that he's actually radical, and he's not going to be a radical in the way that he legislates. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, Reverend Raphael Warnock is associated with MLK's church and is associated with some other black pastors, and some black pastors are very fucking based in this country, okay? Historically so. And he won by a better margin than the more centrist candidate who was adopting a more progressive policy position for the most part, right? And they're still like, no, we got to go more conservative. You know, this Georgia district, it needs to be more conservative. We need to have someone who kills commies. Like, hire a guy who's not famous for doing Ford commercials one time, please. Democrats, stop hiring the same fucking ad company for every failed campaign challenge. Anyway, built Ford tough. The music sounded like Chapo's Beltway Garage theme song. Chapo has it right. The people making these ads don't care if they lose. I mean, why would they? Why would you care if you lose if the Democratic machine keeps going and they will pay you an insane amount of money because you're gonna get a lot of retweets on Twitter? Well, this one didn't even do that, I don't think. Oh, it did. Oh, never mind.
Thought I'd see one here.
Anyway, conservatism, his surname is Flowers. That's gay. No, that's literally why it's Marcus for Georgia and not Flowers for Georgia. You understand that, right? There is a very specific reason why his campaign is not called Flowers for Georgia, but instead Marcus for Georgia. Because, fellas, it's gay to like flowers, right? Or be mentioned with flowers, right? Fellas, I just... Yeah. There you go. How am I supposed to be anything other than left winger when they write actively saw my existence as a trans woman, then say we are all radical leftists? I genuinely, we're essentially pigeonholed and criticized. We're pretty whack. I mean, yeah. How do they make money of that? What do you mean? Campaign funds roll in because, you know, they hate fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene and they want her to be removed from office. So whoever the opposition is, they're gonna pump a massive national, they're gonna pump a massive amount of money into. Okay, the National Democrats are going to, and all of that money needs to be spent. So it's going to be spent on these fat contracts that pump out the exact same ads. I mean, guys, literally, look, we watched that ad, right?
Years old. I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up. I wanted to fly fighter jets and land on aircraft carriers.
Unfortunately, we got so close and the voters decided to remain on the current path. I respect their decision.
Okay, Ian cut her failure into it.
And that's me, MJ Hagar, an Air Force combat veteran and a mom. This door behind me is from my Pavehawk helicopter. It's all that's left of the aircraft that I was flying that day.
A major race in Texas, the battle for a U.S. Senate seat. Democrat MJ Hagar has conceded to incumbent Republican John Cornyn.
I'm Marcus Flowers, and I've spent my life serving this country in combat zones across the world. But I never thought I'd see one here in the United States.
Well, did it work for those people?
No, it never does. I mean, these people somehow delude themselves into thinking it might, but... but it might work for us.
Yep. Tobias Funke, famous analyst therapist. How many kids you killed in Yemen, Pog? Timeout. How's that? All that's left and you alive? Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, analyst, famous analyst therapist. What do you guys... Wait, what do you mean? An alrapist? Yeah. I'm confused. Arrested Development was... Arrested Development is one of the best fucking shows, dude. It's like up there with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The never knew Tobias Funke. The fourth blue man. Oh, Jesus. You know what? I might actually rewatch it now. Fuck. God, their last clip was just not good. The last clip. Their last season was just not like, ugh. It was so bad in comparison to like how good the show is overall. Yay. For those of you who've never watched Arrested Development, don't watch the last season. It never existed, okay? Season 5 is better than 4. Yes, but still not good. I think I watched both of the last seasons. I mean, even fucking Curb's return wasn't that good either. I thought Curb was a little sleeper too when I rewatched it. Have you watched Good Place? Yeah, it's decent. Arrested has jokes that are set up in the first episode that don't pay off until the final season, i.e. the seal attacks are mentioned on the news episode in 1. He doesn't lose it until season 3. The creator said it was mentally exhausting tying all these strings together and needed a break. The woman who was in I Care a Lot won a Golden Globe. I mean, she's a fucking great actress, dude. She plays the psychopath, like psychopathic, like serial killer woman so well. Hello, Hassan. I found your channel from the No Pixel streams. Are you role playing right now? Or are you actually a political Andy? When will you be role playing as a gamer? Perhaps now. Good one. I think the problem is that they had so much of the cast got way more famous after the show ended. Yeah, it's kind of hard, you know, after. Okay, raids last week with John Oliver. I think I might table that for tomorrow because, oh shit, I shouldn't have closed this. There's more shit to watch here. There's so much to watch, and I just like haven't watched any of it. But I think I want to move on. Oh, before I move on, this was sick, by the way, again. Oh, before I move on, the last thing I was going to show you was the other LSF post, the other LSF thing that happened over the weekend. The stun lock, which is not going to be a stun lock this time. At all. Here is a twit longer from Symphony, who many of you were upset at me defending, okay? I don't even know where it is. Did it go away? Oh, there it is. And no one gives a fuck. Dude, look at this. It's not even on the fucking first page of LSF, dude. Like, it's like already relegated to the second page. Like, literally no one gave a shit, okay? It's so obvious that no one fucking gave a shit at all. But here it is, okay? I'll read it out to you. And to further clarify, yes, it fits perfectly into the conversation as one would say the N-word. Yes, it sounds exactly like the N-word, so I understand. And Symphony also understands in what he told me why people would think he's saying it. He totally gets it, and it fucking sucks. Here is, I'll just read his statement. You spent 2 hours on some bullshit people forgot about in less than 24 hours. Yeah, that's why I got fucking owned into oblivion more than the actual sentiment itself. No, stop saying VOD frogs. I'm just going to read it and move on. Friends, fans, and followers, it felt important for me to say that I say something publicly about the clip floating from Saturday stream. If you know me, you know I've never had anything like this happen. Different people have given me different advice on how to handle things, but this is my honest response. I know what the clip sounds like. I watched it 100 times, but I was also there. I can't tell you how to feel, but I can tell you I didn't say the N-word. I don't use the word. It's not in my vocabulary. Ultimately, each of you that trust me with your time and support will have to look at what you know of my character and decide if you believe I'm being honest here. If you watch my stream often, you know that I stutter and speak too quickly, which is something I've had my whole life. More than anything, I'm embarrassed and mad at myself that I jumbled my words so bad that I have to write this at all. Also, I appreciate the people out there defending me, but I got to call out the fact that it's just a word argument doesn't work here. People are right to be upset. It's not just a word. It's harmful and hurtful. It is a calling card for past and current racism, and I don't condone using it at all. Today, I took some time off of stream to talk to people, old friends and new friends who have specifically dealt with this their entire lives. The thing that stuck with me most from those conversations was the realization that no matter how much I learn or think I know, I won't ever understand what it's really like, and that's humbling. To anyone who took the time out of their day, thank you. You know who you are. It's not your job to educate me, and I appreciate it. Whatever you all decide about believing me, just know that I will continue to work hard to make sure that my stream, my dream job, is a place that welcomes everyone. I won't be perfect, but I'm going to keep doing my best to give you all my best. Gaming has changed my life. And one of the best part about it is that it's a bunch of people from literally all over the world coming together and having a good time. I would never intentionally do anything to push someone away from that. Yesterday wasn't my best, but I'll try again tomorrow. See you all on stream and in game. So, the people that, I mean, even if you literally think he is a racist person and he said the N-word or whatever, this is the perfect apology. You can continue being you can continue being mad at him if you want. I think that says more about you as a person than him, to be honest. I will straight up hold on to my position from the jump that I've maintained, and that is precisely why, from all of my interactions with this person and from what other people who like live with him and have fucking interact with him, whether they're black, white, doesn't fucking matter, have said about Symphony, is that he is not the type of person who would so casually and so perfectly fucking drop the N-word, whether it's in a private conversation so it accidentally slipped out in a public setting. He's not the type of person who has done it in the past, or I don't believe will do it in the future. A person who would have casually dropped the N-word in that way, in that perfect, in a way where it like perfectly fit the conversation as though he says it all the fucking time, will end up making a mistake similar to that in the future as well. And not only that, but he will show you that he's the type of person who casually uses the N-word. So, like I said, this is precisely why I was saying, not that I was saying that that wasn't the N-word, it was something else. What I was simply trying to state is that while it might phonetically sound like the N-word, he is not the type of person who would casually use the N-word from my experiences and from what I've heard from other people as well. And that it was probably more likely a